I know a lot of young players dream to play Division 1. I had that same dream when I was coming out of high school. It's definitely looked at as the golden standard of college soccer here in the United States. The thing is, Division 1 is only a small part of actual college soccer, and although you might not believe it, there might be some better options for you. So today I wanted to give you guys my opinion on Division 1 soccer versus Division 2, Division 3, NAIA, and JUCO. If you guys have been watching the channel for some time, then you know that I coached Division 1 at Gardner-Webb for 2 years. When I was in college, I also played in the NAIA at Ashford University. So I've had experiences at both, and I also know quite a bit about Division 2, Division 3, and JUCO. And one thing I know is that Division 1 soccer isn't for everyone. First of all, let's look at the differences within the NCAA umbrella. So we're talking about Division 1, Division 2, and Division 3. The biggest two differences are the overall level and resources. So it's true that the level at Division 1 soccer is the best overall. Most of the teams have better players than the other divisions. And if you compare the starters at the top teams, they're typically better than 90% of Division 2 and Division 3 teams. Take this with a grain of salt because there's always good players at any division. For whatever reason, there's always players who could easily be playing in Division 1 that are in Division 2 and Division 3. But in general, Division 1 is the highest level, and that's the one that's going to give you the best chances of going pro right out of college. And that's because it's a level that's showcased a lot more. Professional scouts and MLS coaches are watching Division 1 soccer much more often than any other division. And if you're in one of the top 25 teams in the country, your games are being scouted every single week. As far as resources, typically Division 1 schools are much bigger, which means a lot more students, which means a lot more money. So Division 1 has the biggest scholarships or the most budget, Division 2 a little bit less, and Division 3 actually doesn't give out athletic scholarships because the NCAA feels like that level isn't competitive enough to give scholarships for athletic ability. Besides scholarships, players are getting more apparel, the travel for away games is a bit more relaxed, the perks for players are nicer in general. You also have much better facilities. For example, at Gardner-Webb, we had 3 practice fields and a game field. It was all natural grass that was mowed almost daily. During the season, the game field was perfectly cut and lined, and we never had to worry about sharing the field with other sports. And that's one of the things that you're going to run into a lot more in the smaller schools in the other divisions. The overall experience is a little bit more luxurious because the money is better there. However, if you are not on a scholarship, expect to be paying a lot more in tuition than you would at a smaller school. I think it's also important to talk about the opportunities outside of the NCAA. First of all, we have the NJCCAA or JUCO. JUCO is for community colleges, so you can only get 2 years before you have to transfer out and play in the NCAA or NAIA. JUCO is a great opportunity for players whose grades may not be high enough coming out of high school, so it gives them a restart before they transfer and try to get a better scholarship than they would have gotten had they gone straight out of high school. These are 2-year schools where you can't get a bachelor's degree, but you can get your associates. You can complete a lot of your gen ed or core classes and then transfer all of those credits to a 4-year school to complete your bachelor's. The downside of attending at JUCO is that by the time you get out, you only have 2 years left of eligibility to play somewhere else. It's a good option if you want to refresh your academics, to get a better scholarship, and also to develop at a solid level before you transfer. But it's not the best decision if you want to make the most out of your 4-year college experience. JUCOs are also good places for NCAA and NAIA coaches to scout since the level is better than high school. So putting together a good highlight tape from your JUCO experience might be better than a high school highlight tape. The best way to look at the NAIA is like the Wild Wild West. The rules and regulations are a lot more relaxed and you don't have a super strict oversight from the compliance department. The issue with this is that there isn't as much organization, so spring seasons are optional. The commitment level is typically much lower than Division 1, and so the experience can feel a little bit less professional. However, there are a lot of benefits to this. For example, in the NCAA, it can feel like you're being watched and you have to follow the rules to a T or you're gonna get in trouble. During the spring season, teams are limited to a certain amount of hours per training. Sometimes players are forced to wear team-issued boots, and trying to bend or break one of the million rules that the NCAA has will get you suspended. Because they are very strict on the eligibility requirements to play in the NCAA, there's so many quality internationals who get denied. So these are players that are rejected because maybe they played in an academy overseas that was considered to be professional, they're not within the age limits of play, or there's also a few other reasons. These players then go to the NAIA where the clearinghouse is a lot more relaxed. And that's the cool part. When I played at Ashford, there was a sophomore who was 25 years old, and he was an absolute baller and could have easily played Division 1, but he couldn't get past the NCAA clearinghouse. So typically the NAIA has a lot more internationals, which means a lot more different playing styles. And the level is not as bad as you'd think. The top 15 teams in the NAIA could compete at Division 1, and the top 3 or 4 would be pretty good Division 1 teams. However, the level is much more scattered throughout, and so any team outside the top 25 playing against the top 10 team could potentially lose 7 or 8-0. At the Division 1 level, most games are pretty competitive. So I played NAIA for 4 years and I enjoyed the experience, but that was also because our team was in the top 5 my last 2 seasons, so we were one of the best teams in the country. So I hope you can understand one thing, and that's that Division 1 might not be the best option for you. Don't get too excited about it just because of the reputation, because ultimately you have to make a decision that is going to impact your development as a footballer. This is also going to be crucial to your opportunities of getting a pro contract and also just enjoying your college experience in general. Players often forget that you're a student athlete, and as annoying as that may be when you want to be a professional footballer, it's the truth. Something that players don't realize is that you will be living the full college experience, and that is much more than just soccer. Pick a school that has a good program in whatever career field you will get your degree in, and also make sure that you like the location of the campus. Is it the right distance to be away from your family? Is there things to do? Will you be happy living there and not just playing soccer there? Get to know the coach prior to committing. Do you feel like they will help you in your development? Are they good managers? The last thing you want to do is be stuck with a coach that you don't like just because you want to be playing in Division 1. And remember, you can always transfer out. So there's no rule that says that you have to be there for all 4 years. If you don't like it and you feel like you made the wrong decision, you'll have the freedom to find another school that will be a better fit for you. So relax, don't worry, and just follow the path that you feel is going to give you the best experience and the best opportunity to chase your dreams after college. So I'll end with this. Always pick playing time over playing level. Pick a positive experience over division. And if all else fails, remember that people may be able to take away your soccer career, but they can never take away your education. Until next time, and adios, muchachos.